Hey everybody, it is your girl here, Genuinely Divine, and today I'm going to be doing a reference video. A lot of times when I'm doing a love compatibility video, I'm like always saying it's more than your sun sign. You are so much more than your sun sign. You have so many different signs and planets that's conflicting your chart. So whenever I'm doing a love compatibility video, a lot of times you may be like, oh, that's not me. Probably not, because your sun is just a sketch of who you are. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 personal planets, okay? And how they affect your life and how important they are. Your sun sign is the sign that everybody knows, you know. Most people, they go look in the newspaper, you see horoscopes, they say Aries, they say, oh, you're a Sagittarius or you're a Taurus or whatever. But in order to know your moon, your Mars, your Mercury, and your Venus, you have to know what time you were born. You have to know the city and the state in which you were born also to attain this information. So it's not as simple as your sun. Everybody knows their sun sign, even if they believe in astrology or not. They know their sun sign, okay? Because somebody probably have told them, yeah, you're Taurus, you know. When is your birthday? Oh yeah, my birthday is September 6th. Yeah, you're Virgo, you know. So everybody knows their sun sign. Not everybody knows the rest. So today I'm gonna put a link in the drop down box below where you guys can go and get your birth chart. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna put a picture of my birth chart so you guys can kind of like get an idea of what a birth chart looks like and all the different signs and the different houses and how it affects our lives. So the very first person is the sun sign. Everybody knows their sun sign, okay? That the sun is your ego, it is your adult self, it is, I like to think of it as the brain of you. Like, it is in control of your functions, the things that you do, but at the same token, it can't just do it on its own. It works through our limbs, it works through our emotions and things of that nature. And that's where the moon comes in. The moon is your feelings, it is your core, it is your emotions, like what you're feeling, how you feel about a situation, how you deal with things that bothers you, you know, within yourself. You don't always share your moon with everybody, you know. It's usually something you deal with within yourself, okay? Mars, that's your action, you know. This is how you get up out of bed every day, what drives you, what motivates you, your ambitions. I mean, everyday ambitions, you know. These things are all very important factors when you're talking about a love compatibility relationship, because, you know, if you're not driven, if one is driven and the other is not, they're gonna feel like they're taking on the load of responsibility more than the other party, and then that can cause conflict in a relationship. Also with the moon, like the way to deal with your emotions, you know, you may withdraw from your person rather than talking to your loved one, and that could, you know, sometimes impose a problem. So you need to have compatible moon signs, you need to have compatible Mars and a compatible sun, as well as Mercury. Mercury is the way you communicate, it is the way you articulate things, you know. Your moon is your emotions, and you know, you're feeling some type of way, but you cannot express it the way you want to because your Mercury is probably in a sign that does not allow you to freely express yourself. So Mercury, the way you communicate, very important in a relationship, because communication is key in a relationship, a love relationship. Communication is key in any relationship, business or romantic, it doesn't matter. It's very important. And then the most important planet of all, personal planet, is Venus. Venus is super important because it's the planet of love. It is the way you love. It is how you give love, is how you reciprocate love, you know, how you look at love. What does it all mean to you? So this planet and its placement in your chart, and as well as your partner's chart, is very, 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 very crucial. You guys may have very compatible suns, but you may not have a compatible moon or a compatible Venus. Therefore, your relationship may not flow the way you would want it to really flow. Sometimes you may run into problems, but as long as you guys can find a common ground, I feel like any love compatibility can actually work, as long as you guys have a understanding of who you are, what you expect, and what you need in a relationship. Understanding is key. And then when you have your chart and you know your personal planets and you know how you fall into one another's chart, then you're able to really be able to, you know, have a really long-lasting relationship. Even if you don't have the most compatible moon, Mars, Mercury, or Venus signs or sun signs, you can still make a relationship work if you know what to expect. So astrology is knowledge of self, and this knowledge is very, very important, especially when you want to have a successful relationship with someone. So for example, let me give you some examples of how your sun, your moon, your Mars, your Mercury, and Venus all work together. These are your 5 personal planets. These are the ones you need to know, because these are the ones that play a very important role in your life every single day. You also have Jupiter. You know, Jupiter is not a personal planet, but it is a planet that does affect us. Jupiter is how you learn. It's your philosophy. It's like your beliefs. Things like your religion, things of that nature, how you go about learning. You have Neptune. Neptune is your imagination, how you dream, you know, what's real to you and what's not. You know, are you living in reality, or do you create an illusion just to make it through the day or make it through difficult times, you know, things of that nature. You have Pluto. Pluto is a planet of transformation, death, rebirth, you know, just Pluto is like how your life is going to transform, how you're going to transform in this lifetime. Is it going to be through your home life? Is it going to be through your work life? Is it going to be through your health? How are you going to transform? How Pluto is placed, that's how you'll know how you'll transform, you know. Your rising sign, your rising is it's not a planet, of course. It is just the zodiac sign that was rising in the east when you were born. It plays a major role, you know. Its ruling planet plays a major role in your birth chart as well, you know. So astrology is so complex, you know. I've been studying astrology for over 16 years, very long time. And each day I'm still constantly learning something new about it. It's very complex. But it makes up your individual chart, and no one is the same. So it doesn't matter if you're a Virgo, all Virgos are not the same, you know. It doesn't matter if you're an Aries, you're not all the same. You're gonna be different. We have different risings, you have different Mars, Mercuries, moons, and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you guys have similarities, but you're not the same, okay? Because each house, you have 12 houses in the astrological chart. Each house represents a sector of your life. Then you have different planets in each house, or some may not have a planet in a house at all, but you will have a zodiac sign there. So usually that's how you will react. Like, you may be a Virgo sun, but the way you spend your money, you may spend it like a Sagittarius, you know. You may be a Aries sun, but the way you learn is that of a Scorpio, you know, because Scorpio is in your 9th house, you know. So it just all depends, and it is just definitely very complex, you know. It's not something you can just look at like in the newspaper, how they have the horoscopes, you know. That's for entertainment purposes only, because it is definitely no accuracy to it. But in order to really get an accurate compatibility with a romantic partner, you definitely need to look up your birth chart and check the placements of your personal planets, your 5 personal planets, okay? I am an Aries sun with Pisces rising, and I have a Capricorn moon, okay? So let me give you an example of how I act a little bit different than a lot of Aries. My Mercury is Aries also. My Mercury is Aries, my Venus is Aquarius. With my sun being Aries or whatever, so usually I'm just like this. I'm very active, you know. I like to be active. I like to move. I don't like to sit still for very long. So I have a lot of energy. I do. I have lots of energy. When people first meet me, they meet this really nice person who is very sweet and kind. That's my Pisces side, because that your rising is your personality, and this is what people get to meet every single day. When they meet you, they meet your rising, not your sun. So I'm really nice. They meet Pisces or whatever, and then when somebody pisses me off, makes me angry, Capricorn, my moon, inside of me I become like, oh, I'm cold and I'm calculating, and I will cut them off in a second. I'll withdraw from them. If they come and say anything to me, then of course Mercury is in Aries and my sun, so now they're gonna get some bad talking to them, because Mercury is how you communicate, and your sun is your ego. So now you've pissed me off. You brought out my ego. You brought out Aries, who's very independent, don't care about friends, don't want friends. I love being by myself, and I will express that to you through my Mercury. You know, I will let you know that you're not a factor in my life, and you've pissed me off, and I will let you know exactly where you stand in my life while looking you straight in your eyes. And then they're like, dang, this B is like bipolar, because, you know, they're used to Pisces, a really nice person, but you've pissed me off, so now you've brought out my sun and my Mercury. Not good. Okay, with Venus, you know, the way I love with it, my Venus is in Aquarius, so I like to be friends. I like to become friends with a lover before I can really move into any type of romantic settings, you know. I'm not the type of person I look at a guy and be like, oh my God, he's so fine, I just really gotta be with him. No, not for me. It's basically through communication, just really talking to a person, building a friendship, building some trust with that person, and then from that point, that's when I actually, you know, start building a relationship, a romantic relationship with that person. It's not the looks, it's not what they have or where they come from. That doesn't matter to me. It's all about friendship, because, you know, Aquarius rules the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of friendships. It's in my Venus, so that's the way I love. I love in a friendly way. You have to be my friend before we could be lovers. Also with my Venus, I love kind of like detached, you know. I can be detached at sometimes and make a person feel like, dang, does she like me or do she not? Like, what do you have going on? What you got going on, you know? But that's just the way I love, because of the placement, you know. So that's an example, you guys, of how things can actually work for you when you actually know your astrological chart. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys, and you'll be able to have more accurate understanding of your love compatibility when you meet someone. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, that is the end of my video. If you guys wish to have any more videos, I can teach you different things about astrology, then just request it down below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, please hit that little notification bell so you never miss any of my posts. Okay, with that being said, I wish you guys much love, peace, and many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful blessings. Bye.